The smoke! There's supposed to be smoke!
Any second, Chief.
Too soon! Too soon! You shouldn't be jumping yet. It ain't in the script! Cut! 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 Turner, you idiot! Why did you jump so soon?
Well, I figured it'd be more comfortable to arrive on the Earth in one big piece, rather than a whole lot of little ones.
Do you know what this shot was worth?
Yeah? More than me, apparently.
You're just a stunt jockey, Turner. You're replaceable.
Well, then I guess you just better replace me.
Now listen, Turner, don't be like that. What I meant to say was, you're a damn good stunt jockey, Turner. The best.
They say the prize money, 10,000 Australian pounds, is around 50,000 American dollars. It's not bad.
Well, it's not bad, except when you consider the plane, the fuel, and all that other stuff. No, that sum is sort of a spit in the bucket. I'm getting too old for this sort of thing, huh?
Ha! Roscoe, you'll never be too old for an air race or any other piece of action that keeps you flying and keeps your name in the papers.
I know. You see, it's the other way around, kid. My name in the papers keeps me flying. You know how long I've been up there? 20 years next spring. And that's old, kid. And for what? Movies.
You could always go back to lion taming. Circus would be glad to have Colonel Roscoe Turner back on the marquee.
Yeah.
Gilmore's old Ma and I, we used to be quite a team, huh?
Let's go get some coffee.
London to Melbourne. This will be the biggest and most important air race in the history of aviation, good fellow. And Sir Macpherson Robertson isn't offering a first prize of £10,000 merely to celebrate the centenary of the state of Victoria. He hopes, you see, as we all do, that a British plane will take out the honours. Two British planes, if we can manage it. One in the speed and one in the handicap section. That makes 53 entries so far. And more to come, no doubt. Well, some will drop out. Some are sheer fantasy. But...
Are you worried about the Americans, sir?
very much so. You know, compared to the Americans, British aircraft design has scarcely moved since the war. Well, one or two halfway decent planes, I suppose, but well, compared to the Douglases and the Lockheeds and what have you, well, we could end up looking rather silly.
It is an international race, sir.
But of course. Well, what's the point of winning if all the good chaps are excluded?
So what about you, Clyde? You get yourself an airplane for this race?
Yep. I put in an order for a Granville GB Racer.
A GB? Uh-huh. So you figure you're gonna make it all the way to Melbourne, Australia?
They modified the GB since you flew her.
Well, I hope so, for your sake. Hi, Lily. Huh. Did you hear about this new plane Douglas has got out? It's a DC-2. That's a kind of long-range aircraft you should be looking at.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
You mean?
Me?
You're going in this air race, aren't you, Roscoe?
Kid, what the hell else can I do? Somebody's got to show 'em.
We must build a new plane.
Really?
Yes. I've discussed it with my chaps and my board,
And?
Not very enthusiastic, I'm afraid.
Oh dear, I see. No chance of adapting an existing model like the Dragon?
No, not really. Need more range, more speed. No, it's a new plane from scratch or nothing. You see, what's required is the fastest aeroplane ever built. Designed, manufactured, and tested in the fastest time on record, and then flown in the fastest race ever flown.
Exactly. All the same, look. We've drawn up the race rules.
Oh, yes?
And you have the advantage of designing a plane.
To fit those rules.
And then I would imagine some Air Force interest in a design that won an event of this type.
Well, actually, we've been doing some work on a new engine, the Gypsy 6. Quite a good showing on bench tests.
Sounds very promising. And what about your board?
I'll talk 'em round. Britain must win, Perrin. Simple as that.
Come on, darling. Charles Scott, trust you, darling.
Diana, sorry, old thing, couldn't get a cab.
Countess Strocketer, Charles Scott.
Charmed. Absolutely charmed.
Lord and Lady Rothmere, Charles.
How do you do?
How do you do?
How do you do, sir? How do you do, sir?
And Florence Desmond, Charles Scott.
Miss Desmond, I say.
Come on, darlings, let's have a look.
I caught your new show at the Lyceum just the other evening. Thought you were splendid, if I may say so.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. Very kind.
Sorry. Expect you get rather bored hearing how splendid you are.
At times. Don't you?
Heavens, no, not at all. Love every moment of it.
I suppose you simply must be going in this air race to Australia everyone's talking about.
Well, perhaps. Thinking about it.
Can't imagine you not, Charles. Anyway, isn't it exciting about Jim and Amy Mollison? Finally got away on their London to New York flight.
Oh, yes. Well, then let's hope and pray they arrive safely.
Oh?
Oh, yes. Every flower I know has come down sometime or another.
Including you, Charles?
With appalling regularity, I'm afraid.
Man tries land downwind. Damn fool in this weather.
Couldn't hear no engine. Must have been out of gas.
Amy Johnson? The Amy Johnson? Is she... Oh, shit! Oh, please. I got my new
Pipe down, will you?
Careful! Is he alive?
Just now.
We could have made Boston, Jim, while it was still light.
Take it easy, Mrs. Mollison.
We announced New York non-stop, my dear. Funny, isn't it? I fly the bloody Atlantic countless times. When I'm with you, we crash. I need a drink.
Miss Johnson, how about a smile?
Where did she run out of gas?
Well, how about you, Mr. Johnson? Will you be making another attempt soon?
How about lose the plane smashed up, baby?
Would it be fair to say that your injuries are only superficial, sir?
We need a story. Come on.
Does this mean you won't be going in the air race to Australia?
Get out of here, rabble!
Lord, for God's sake, just leave me alone!
Good afternoon, Miss Hoops.
Good afternoon, Captain Parmentier.
Dr. Plessman wished to see me.
It's about this air race.
Really? But Captain Mole is flying for KLM, isn't he?
You may go in now, Captain.
You will have noticed, of course, Parmentier, that apart from the Batavia-Melbourne leg, this race is almost precisely our KLM route. Sit down, for God's sake. Which is why you will have Captain Mole as your co-pilot for the race.
Yes, sir.
Now, there will be all kinds of foolishness. Toy planes flown by madmen and adventurers. But our concern is to demonstrate to the world that air travel with KLM, naturally, is safe and completely reliable. You understand?
Yes, Doctor.
Good. Now...
Excuse me, Doctor.
Yes, what?
If KLM wishes to win this race...
No, not win, Parmentier. That is not the object.
All the same, a plane like the new Douglas would ensure that KLM would have a good chance.
Exactly. I am ahead of you.
As always, sir.
We shall see if this DC-2 is as good as you say it is. Yes, the design is functional. And yet, in its way, it is quite... This is the future, Parmentier. With a plane like this...
With a plane like this, I could even win this race.
KLM wins the race, Parmentier. KLM!
I hear Jackie Cochran's also interested in a GB.
For the race? Spunky kid.
Well, there you go, boy.
I'd be one worried man if I had to land after Jackie Cochran in a GB. Thank you.
How's that?
Runway more than likely be covered with wreckage. Turner, Colonel Roscoe Turner. This is my associate, Mr. Clyde Pangborn.
Parmentier, Royal Dutch Airlines. Pleasure. And an honor, gentlemen. I've heard of you both, of course.
Well, that's mighty handsome of you, sir. So, Royal Dutch Airlines is interested in the Douglas, huh?
More than interested. KLM will be entering a Douglas in the air race. Now, if you'll excuse me, gentlemen, Colonel, Mr. Pangborn.
So we're flying against an airline. Some interesting race.
I think I'm gonna go look at a Boeing.
Huh? You entered a Douglas.
Well, Roscoe Turner's not gonna enter any air race in the same plane as a damned airline. No percentage in that. Hey, you look pretty good in that seat, kid.
You're just not gonna let up, are you?
Oh, why risk your life in a GB when you could be Roscoe Turner's co-pilot and navigator, huh?
Okay, Roscoe. Deal.
Deal.
Too fast. Still too bloody fast.
Nice landing, mate. What bright spark put that there? Me. You off your head? You're trying to kill me?
No! I'm trying to save the bloody plane in your neck, you stupid galah, because you always coming too bloody fast.
Oh, I do I?
Yes, you do, and one of these days I reckon you're going to end up in the trees.
You reckon, do you?
Yeah, I reckon, so I gave you some incentive to hit the brakes, just in case.
You're a real mate, Ray.
Yes.
Okay. So, how'd you get on? Don't know if I'm going to tell you now.
Oh, come on, Jeff, be your age. Now, what happened?
I sent the entry form off. And? Some of the blokes said they'd chip in when they heard it was you.
Well, that figures.
God only knows how we're going to raise 7,000 quid.
That was for the Lockheed. There's an advert here. Air Force disposal job, brand new, never been flown.
Go on, how much?
200 quid.
Show us. Oh, yeah. I got rid of these a few years ago. I got the speed, though.
Yeah. And long-range fuel tank.
Yeah. Hang on. This is in England. We won't be able to see it till after we bought it.
So?
Goodbye, Margaret.
It's Marcia, darling.
Marcia. Sorry, Pet. Quick now.
Welcome back, Mrs. Mollison.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards.
See, I thought we'd lost you to the United States.
Oh, no. Just having a bit of a rest. Bit of a holiday. Is Mr. Mollison in?
Mr. Mollison's in. I've put you in suite 12 this time.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Edwards.
I must say it's a great pleasure to have you back at Grosvenor House.
Jim? Jim?
Darling, you're here. Well, well.
How do I look?
You look like a bloody film star.
You like me in black, don't you?
Oh, yes, Johnny. Very soigné.
I'm awfully pleased to see you, Jim.
Me too, Amy. No one to fight with when you're not here.
Oh, don't say that. Didn't we have enough fighting in America?
All right. Come and give me a kiss.
Oh, the place looks closed up.
Told you it's gone bust.
Says who?
Mr. Granville?
Maybe.
I'm Jacqueline Cochran. This is Wesley Smith.
I guess you can't be from the bank driving an automobile like that. You the lady that called me from New York to see my new GB?
That's right, Mr. Granville.
Haven't I seen you somewhere? Magazine?
May I look at the plane, please, sir? You do have a plane for sale, don't you?
She's in a hurry, ain't she?
Yeah, most of the time.
Well, there she is, honey. Now, that's an airplane. You want fast, she's fast.
I want fast, Mr. Granville. You hear about this race to Melbourne, Australia?
Yep. In fact, I had a buyer for this here aircraft from that very same race from Mr. Clive Pangborn from California. But he canceled out. I guess he lost his nerve.
Yeah, lost his nerve. What's the plane's glide performance like, Granville?
About like that. I don't make gliders, mister. I make flyers.
Oh, yeah? Well, what if you lose the engine?
You jump out.
Can I take her up?
Well, not today, honey. There's a bit more work has to be done on it. My boys aren't here, you know.
Okay. Okay. I'll take her.
Jackie, you gotta test her. Can't fly her across half the
Wesley,
world.
test her in England. Mr. Granville, you do what you have to do, then crate her up, and we'll ship her to England. You'll take a check?
Well, honey, I'd prefer cash. Kind of keep the banks out of it, if you know what I mean.
But, Jimbo, there's more to flying than breaking records and winning races.
Listen, Johnny, I made a mess of the last one. Got a lot of sympathy and not much else. Besides, I've entered us.
Jim?
Well, it could put us back on top. Do you imagine Charlie Scott passing up an opportunity like this?
But we can't compete in my little plane, so what have we got?
I've had to sell your little plane, I'm afraid, to pay the deposit on one of those new planes from de Havilland.
A Comet?
That's it. We're in, darling. Come on.
Well, you might have told me.
Just have.
We are a happy band of chaps. We clutter up the skies. Maybe crazy, but true. We buzz about from place to place like maddened butterflies. It's speed we pursue. But if you break the record, China to Peru, everyone in town will soon be talking about you. Glory, oh fame and glory, your name and story, no stunts to boo. Tell of your exploits in each newspaper, how you were often sick on petrol vapor. Glory, oh fame and glory, cash in on the ballyhoo. Cloth cap or toy.
Oh, God, can we go?
It's never boring, glory, and heaps of money in it, too.
I'm sorry, Johnny. That was dreadful. I had no idea it would upset you.
Amy Johnson, Amy Johnson. I hate it, Jim. I hate her. Who is this famous Amy Johnson? She's not me.
Listen, it's just a game we play. Learn to treat it as such. Look, Johnny, it's our bread and butter. No fame, no fortune. You heard the song.
Oh, fame and glory, cash in on the ballyhoo. Cloth cap or Tory, it's never boring, glory, and heaps of money in it, too.
Oh, Mr. Campbell Black, how are you?
Good evening, Miss Desmond. I hope you don't mind my coming backstage.
Not at all. But aren't you getting awfully sick of our show?
No, no, Lord, no. I enjoy it enormously. Every time. And you are marvelous, of course. Quite delightful. You always are. very, very amusing. Very... I bought these for you. They're for you.
Thanks. Would you mind terribly if I put them over here? You see, I have an engagement tonight.
You have an engagement? Oh. Because you see, I thought, well, that is, I hoped that you might join me for some supper. Perhaps another time.
Yes, another time. But now, I really must go.
Of course, don't let me. Perhaps I could telephone you.
Yes, do that. Night, darling.
Night, Miss Desmond.
When are you heading back?
Back?
To Africa?
Oh, Africa. Well, not immediately. Other plans, you know. Oh, Tessie, you're so lovely.
Campbell.
I'm sorry. It just came out. It's how one feels. Sorry.
You're very sweet. Roger, darling, have I kept you waiting and waiting?
No, my RAF stint was rather brief, to be perfectly honest. They threw me out. Court-martialed 3 times. What was it for? You see. Hazarding aircraft.
Gin, please. Hello, Black.
Flying
Parent.
Do you know Charles Scott?
Absent without...
No, heard about him, of course.
The man's a rogue. A damn fine flyer. You know the England-Australia record in 31?
Of course. And then 2 hours off Mollison's time in 32.
Right. I say, Scott.
Excuse me, Jack.
I thought you'd like to meet Tom Campbell Black.
Yes, good to meet you, Black. 3 times Mansfield Robinson Trophy, am I right?
Oh, that. There's nothing to it. Do it on your ear.
Campbell Black's not a man who blows his own trumpet.
So I see.
Buy you a drink?
Thank you.
I'm surprised you haven't entered this London-Melbourne race.
Yes. Well, let's see.
Oh, blast. Excuse me, you chaps.
Whiskey?
Thank you.
2 whiskeys. So you're not entering this race?
No. Can't get a plane, old man. Bit short already. Well, one could get a plane, but what's the point of that?
It's quite.
Ah, you're in much the same sort of boat.
Yes, much the same. Looking about, of course.
Bloody unfair, isn't it, really? I mean, if you and I could get a decent sort of plane, we'd stand a damn good chance, don't you think?
We?
Yes, we. Look, let's not stand on the ceremony, Blake. I've heard you're jolly good. You're a decent sort of chap. Everyone says so. What about you and me?
Really? Seriously?
Absolutely. Why not?
We've only just met 5 seconds ago.
Never mind that. I have an instinct for these things. Oh, what do you say? You and me.
Well, if you think so, Scott.
I do, old man. I do.
Well, then I'm with you. All the way.
Good fellow. Good fellow.
This here race is from London to Melbourne, and Jeff and me are in it. And I reckon we got half a chance. For us and for Australia.
Yeah, we're looking for investors to form a sort of a flight syndicate to back us.
Look, we're hoping that you blokes...
Didn't you do something like this back in 1920?
Ray's having another crack at it, Stan. Trying to better his time.
Yeah, what was that?
7 months, matter of fact.
7 months.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah, what? Fair enough. Well, nuggets do?
Nuggets. Cash, checks, anything you can spare, gentlemen. Thanks, mate. Thanks a lot, son. On your cobber.
When this race was announced, I was to captain the KLM entry. Me, Jan Mol. Now we changed to the Douglas, but nevertheless, who pioneered the route from the East Indies to Australia? Not Kuna Parmentier.
Yes, that's enough, Mol.
With the utmost respect, Doctor, I wish merely to register my protest.
Which you have done. Now we continue. I pay you very well to fly where and when I say. From the KLM point of view, you two are the perfect team. Those are my orders.
Jan. Of course you are upset, but... Well, I didn't think...
We have our orders, Parmentier. All that remains is to do our duty.
Damn it, Clyde, I don't believe it. Deeply regret, huh? Race rules prevent change of make or time. We've been fooling around here for how long? Now, close to a year, palavering back and forth, entry form and cable specified Douglas aircraft. This must stand. Signed Perrin, Royal Aero Club. Ha! Well, fool. It's a lot of horse manure.
Yeah, so what do we do?
British, what's their problem, Clyde? I mean, a man might start to think we ain't welcome in their little race, huh? I mean, don't they want American planes? Wait a minute. Wait just a darn minute.
Yes, but we are a bad risk. Oh, we'll just have to keep trying. Yes, all right. I'll see you tonight. Bye, Blake.
Mr. Scott, fancy you trying to buy an aeroplane when you owe me for the room. A man of your age, too.
Doris, I am a flyer, a knight of the air. I say, you could manage to do a few shirts for me, could you? As a pet. Pressy old suit. Please?
Newgate Hotel? Oh, Mr. Charles Scott. Oh, I don't know. I really don't.
Hello, Scott here. No, not at all. May I ask... I see. No, 3 o'clock would be most convenient. Yes. Goodbye. must have a shirt. Must.
What happened? Who was it?
I won't beat about the bush, Mr. Scott. Neither will I pretend that I know a great deal about aircraft, or airmen for that matter. Hotels are my game. However, once I heard about the scope of the race, I must admit I was... it rather fired my enthusiasm.
Of course. Seems to have fired most people. There's enormous interest.
Exactly. You haven't entered yet, by the way?
No. Well, not as such, but...
Good. Because I have a plane. Or I will have one.
I see. A plane? What sort of plane?
A Comet. De Havilland's new plane. I can't imagine why, but I simply telephoned them, told them that I'd read about the Comet, asked them if it could win the race, and if I could buy one.
Just like that.
And I had thought this race was to build up international goodwill. But instead of helping American pilots enter their race, why, they have done all they can to keep them out. Now, gentlemen, do you imagine that I, or any other American flyer, was entering this race for the money? Why, it would cost each of us up to $100,000 just for the privilege of competing for a prize worth half that sum. No, gentlemen. We were entering this race as sportsmen. And the Royal Aero Club of Great Britain ought to be big enough to acknowledge that fact.
Turner, would you say there's some kind of conspiracy involved here?
Conspiracy? Well, that's your word, sir. But I cannot satisfactorily replace it with another. Not offhand.
What would you say would be the motive behind this?
Well, I can think of only one thing, sir. Fear. The Limeys are afraid. Afraid of American zip, American get up and go, and American know-how.
And the New York Herald Tribune, gentlemen, actually uses the word conspiracy.
But which matters more, Perrin? The rules or the race itself? We risk becoming a laughing stock.
Yes, Perrin. Seems to me we might bend a little and include this Turner. Haven't we hampered the Americans enough already, man? There's no point in being overly legalistic.
I must say, that is a fair point.
Very well. Suppose now we accept Turner and the Boeing. Are we being absolutely fair to all the other competitors?
Oh, I think so. And Perrin, we have the Comet.
Not yet, we haven't.
Well, he owns a ruddy plane, of course. Cost him 5,000 quid, Campbell. Just rang up. Evening. He keeps the prize money, if any, and this perfectly awful Gold Cup.
And he wants to paint Grosvenor House on the nose?
Well, of course he does, man. Flying advert. I say, see the undercarriage on that girl?
What? Oh, yes. Look, what do you think? Are we in?
Oh, yes, we're in. We just have to find our own way of making it pay. Newspapers, adverts, Tom Campbell Black Ace Flyer drinks Cenopod tea. And all the ladies are simply mad about chaps who fly, you know.
Well, I hope so.
What's going on between you and Miss Desmond?
Oh, you know, not much so far.
You're in love, Campbell.
Yes.
Real thing?
Afraid so.
How nice.
Come in.
Oh, slope off, old man. Three's a crowd and all that. Scott.
Come in.
See you at Grosvenor House. Cheerio. What is it? You going my way?
Come in. Oh, Campbell. Thought you were someone else.
Should I come back when you've...
God, no. Sit down. Thought you were my boss, come to tick me off for being a naughty girl.
Oh?
I get the giggles sometimes. Can't help myself. Once I start, I just can't seem to stop. Anyway, you can't have seen it because you weren't in tonight.
Oh, you noticed?
Yes.
Actually, I've some news.
Would you mind awfully? Don't know where Queenie's got to. News?
Yes. Charles Scott and I are in the air race.
Oh, yes?
We've got a comet. It's rather exciting, don't you think?
I suppose so.
Well, I wanted to tell you before anyone else, as a matter of fact.
Thank you, Campbell.
I expect you have an engagement this evening.
No.
Oh. Well, would you care to go on somewhere with me?
Yes, all right.
I wish to retract the statement I made, gentlemen, and apologize to Commander Perrin and the Royal Aero Club. I was too hasty. You see, I really wanted to fly in this race, and I was bitterly disappointed at being excluded. Why, my whole experience of English flyers is that they are sportsmen in the highest degree. And this reversal of their decision to exclude me proves just that.
Anything you'd like to add, Mr. Pangborn?
Nope. It's like you said.
Well, good luck.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for coming by.
You mean any of that?
Well, some of it. Yeah, I got nothing against English flyers. Though I do take some pleasure in winning out over that damn Royal Aero Club.
I guess you do.
You guess I do.
So, how are we doing on the financial front?
Well, kid, we got a ways to go yet. But now that that's settled, I'm gonna go see a man with 57 varieties. Good afternoon, ma'am. Colonel Roscoe Turner to see Mr. Hines. Is that gentleman in?
Yes.
Ah. His name's Gilmore. Colonel Roscoe Turner, Mr. Hines.
The Roscoe Turner, no doubt. And I see the equally famous Gilmore. Quite a calling card.
Well, it's very gracious of you, sir, to spare me a few moments of your time. Very well appointed office you have here, sir. It's funny, now, I wouldn't have figured this as the office of a man in soup and beans. Yes.
Won't you sit down? Colonel Turner.
Yes, sir?
You're in the show business, I believe.
I do a little work for Warner Brothers Motion Pictures because I have to, but I'm a flyer, sir. A flyer, first and last.
What connection can there be between my soup and beans and your air race?
Well, I figure that we tell the papers that...
You don't tell the papers. You show the papers.
Gotcha, Mr. Hines. Gotcha.
Tell me, Mr. Turner, does Gilmore eat beans?
Mr. Hines, my little lion will eat whatever you want him to eat.
How about the maps?
I got the maps, most of them. I've been looking them over.
Jackie, over here. And did you cable all those places? Baghdad, Allahabad, you know, my hot baths, my orange juice?
Yep, all taken care of.
Jackie, over here. Okay, that's it on the furs. Let's try the suit.
It's all costing a lot of dough.
Well, sure, I counted on that. Turn around, Wes.
Oh, Jackie, hot baths, fresh juice, it's all okay, but I'm still kind of worried about that plane.
Okay, Wes, quit.
Oh, come on, wait a minute, will you? Listen to what I gotta say.
Wes, I heard what you gotta say. I'm paying you to do a job. If you figure you're not up to it, okay, I'll get some other fellow.
Oh, come on, Jackie. You know I'd do anything for you.
Yeah? Here's something. Shut up. And pass me those shoes.
Oh, you only been flying a touch over a year, and already you want to set the world on fire. What's the rush?
Wesley, I just want to be somebody. Down in Florida, I didn't wear shoes or sleep in a proper bed till I was 8 years old. It's just dumb luck I turned out kind of pretty.
And look at you now. You are somebody. You're Jacqueline Cochran.
Yeah, the lucky strike girl.
Come on, sweetheart, let's go.
And who is Jacqueline Cochran? It's a name I picked out of the telephone book one day down in Pensacola.
My lords, ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you the first of the aircraft, which we are confident will win the forthcoming air race to Australia.
I christen this plane the first de Havilland Comet off the line, Grosvenor House. Godspeed her, and God bless those who fly her.
God better bless us, not finished yet. Race just over 2 weeks off.
Charles?
Amy?
Campbell?
Amy.
Cutting things a bit fine.
I'll say. And what about yours?
A day or so, they say. But they can't have tested it yet. What do you think of the design?
Oh, she'll go fast, all right. But my God, they could have given us a bit more room.
Why waste space on us when they can cram in more fuel?
Yes, 300 gallons. Near enough, most of it in the nose.
Yes, one wouldn't want to mess up a takeoff.
No.
Charlie! Campbell.
Was.
Great publicity for Grosvenor House, Charlie. How did you manage that?
Ask Edwards, Mollison. I should imagine he wanted someone reliable.
Scott, Mr. Campbell Black, they want a shot of the pilots in front of the plane.
Yes, of course.
£200. I knew there had to be a catch.
It's supposed to be brand new. The engine is. She hasn't been flown for 6 years, that's all.
Ah, you beauty.
Well, good luck.
Thanks for your help.
If there's anything further I can do... Goodbye, Hemsworth. Good luck.
Now, Jeff, I don't want you to worry about this. It's just like the last time. Come on, mate. We'll find a way, eh?
Due for 3 days yet.
G'day.
I'm sorry, but you can't land here. This aerodrome's closed.
But this is Mildenhall, isn't it?
It is, and reserved for competitors in the McRobertson Air Race.
Well, that's all right. I am a competitor. Melrose. James Melrose?
Melrose? From Australia? You just arrived from Australia?
Yes. Are you blokes in charge? Because I'd like my logbook verified, if that's all right. I'm pretty sure I've just beaten the Australia-England record. I'm sorry I'm early, but there wasn't much point in stopping. Am I the first one here?
Yes. Yes, you are.
Well, how about that?
8 days and 9 hours, sir. He's right.
Congratulations, young man. Well
Thanks.
done.
Any chance of a cup of tea?
Looks in better nick than ours, right? Yeah, she sure does. Come on. G'day.
How you doing? Jack Bones, this is Harry Gilman. You'd have to be...
Ray Parrott.
Yeah, Jeff Hemsworth.
Hi, Jim.
G'day.
Oi, excuse me, Sonny, Jim, don't play with that. I think I've never seen a plane before. You blokes are over at Croydon, aren't you, with another one of these?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, how's yours coming along?
Pretty good.
Tell you the truth, we were sold a pup. Yeah? Are you going to make the deadline?
Oh, that's why we're here. Just to get an extension.
Hey, there's one of the Comets. Scott and Campbell Black.
Now that's a plane, Ray.
Of course it's a plane.
Mr. Perrin, Mr. Hemsworth. We grant extensions to one, then we must grant them to all.
Yeah, but who else is asking?
Well, no one. But...
Look, all we want is a fair go, Commander.
I say, has anyone seen Stack?
All right.
All right, if that's the way you want it. I reckon that me and Hemsworth got no other choice but to withdraw.
No, we don't want that. We can't afford to lose any more competitors. Let's say midday tomorrow, then that's the best I can do.
2 o'clock.
Midday, Mr. Perrin.
Your blood's worth bottling. We'll see you then. Come on.
Commander Perrin.
What did he say?
First impressions, Mr. Scott.
Well, Mr. Campbell Black and I are absolutely delighted with the aircraft. A truly superb bit of engineering.
A very fast landing, sir. No problems with that?
None at all. She handles well, like a dream.
Stick with me, mate.
Told you we'd be right.
It's just like the last time. Ray, I think we've heard enough about the last time.
Do you reckon you can drive?
Why, you all right?
Yeah, it's just the English weather, huh? Hot 1 minute, cold the next.
It's truth.
Come on, mate. I got a lot to do.
Yeah, all right.
It's plain, Jan. There are no surprises, hmm?
No. Why should there be?
Jan, we have a long way to go and each must rely on the other. So, come on, man, what do you say?
Again, very smooth, gentlemen. One feels absolutely safe. May I ask what happens now that we're here?
The aircraft must be inspected to ensure that all is in accord with the specifications made in the official entry.
But of course it will be.
Naturally.
Is that woman coming to our cockpit the whole voyage?
Oh, she's just doing her job, Jan. She has to collect material for a magazine.
German Flight Illustrated. My heavens.
All the same. Dr. Plethman's orders are that we are to give her our full cooperation.
Jim, let me try.
No.
It's like yesterday. You're flaring
problem with the landing, Mr. Mollison?
There's no problem. There are a few kinks. We're simply ironing them out, that's all.
Scott and Campbell Black brought their comet in first time.
Yes, well, one swallow doesn't make a summer. Frankly, I couldn't care less. Can I get down, please?
Mr. Scott and Mr. Campbell Black took delivery of their plane before us. We do still need practice, which is what I'd like to do right now. So if you'd stand back.
Not now, Amy.
I want to practice, Jim, especially landing, if you don't mind.
I do mind.
I paid for half bloody plane, Jim Mollison. I shall do as I please.
Hey, I'm doing okay for my first time, aren't I?
You're doing great, honey. Only in a minute you gotta land this thing. There's Milton Hall just below.
Nothing to it. Let's put this baby down. Well, there you are. Still in one piece.
Yeah, used every bit of runway there was. The landing gear took one hell of a whack. Well, I'll be. It's okay. You can fly this thing, Jackie.
Hey, like you tell me, Wes, I can fly any old thing. Wonder how old Granville lands her.
Like you. Too hard, too fast, using about half the state of Massachusetts.
Well, that's it, Jeff, huh? Finished. Told you we'd make it.
We spent so much time working on the plane, Ray. We haven't done any training, mate.
Training? I thought I'd leave the training to you. You're much better at that sort of
Ray?
thing than me. Oh, you all right, mate?
Oh, no.
Well, go get a doctor, quick.
God, Ray. Well, this happened last time, mate?
Well, you're a real guy, Jeff. Oh. No, it's just a touch of malaria, mate. I thought if I ignored it, it'd go away.
Warner Brothers Comet. Bit of a cheek.
Americans, old boy. Now, they really understand publicity.
What does he think this is, a bloody musical comedy?
I don't know, sir.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Colonel Tanner.
Yes, sir.
Commander Perrin. Welcome to Milton Hall.
Well, it's a great pleasure to make your acquaintance at last, sir. After our somewhat heated correspondence.
Yes, well, you were forthright in the expressions of your views, Colonel. But, that is the American way.
Indeed it is, sir. Indeed it is.
Now, Colonel, would you come this way, please?
Mm-hmm.
I find I now have to raise another small matter, Colonel.
Yes?
Your race number is 5, but you also have that 57 on your nose.
Yes, sir?
Well, this could cause confusion. I'm sorry. I must ask you to remove it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must decline. You see, that stands for 57 varieties of canned product. And Mr. Hines has paid me, well, a great deal of money to have it there.
Apart from anything else, it's the most blatant advertising.
I guess it is. Just like, let me see, say, Grosvenor House on the nose of one of those comets. Yeah, I read about that somewhere. Oh, would you mind, sir?
Hi there. Well, how does it go on?
Oh, the song. Oh, that's all I remember. It's just a song we used to sing at school.
That long ago, huh? It's Pussmoth. I'm Jackie Cofford.
James Melrose. How do you do?
Melrose, sure.
I saw you bringing her in. She looked quite a handful.
She is. It's gonna be interesting. My Hildegard, that's cute. What is that? I guess that's your sweetheart?
Oh, no, my mother, actually.
Oh. I'm sorry, Mr. Melrose.
You see, she's been such an enormous help to me with flying that I thought, well, it's just a way of saying thanks. She's been behind me every step of the way.
Well, that's nice. But I guess she also worries about you.
Yes, she does. Well, I expect your parents, Miss Cochran.
I don't have any parents, Mr. Melrose.
Oh. Gosh, that's too bad.
It's a long time ago.
What'd you get onto them?
Yes, mate, we're out.
What do you mean, out?
Perrin says sorry, no more extensions. If we don't get there by the Savo, we're scratched. That's bad luck, eh?
Yeah, well, we'll see about that.
What are you doing?
Here, take these.
They reckon you should be lying down.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of time for that. When you're dead. Grab that, Quinine.
Ray, you're sick.
I've been a lot worse.
I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, well, nobody's come up with a better one. Now, Jeff, I don't want you to muck me about, because we haven't got the time. Come on.
You made it.
Yeah.
How you feeling, Ray?
I'm fine.
You sure?
Well, I need some fresh air, Jack.
Yes? Right. Ladies and gentlemen, the royal party has just passed through the main gate. Well, move!
Your Majesty.
Mr. Parra, may one ask, what is that tube hanging from under the driver's seat?
Jeff? Your Majesty, waited for quite a while. It's difficult.
Thank you. One wondered how you chaps managed.
Your Majesty's Mr. and Mrs.
No, no, Perrin. Mollison, of course. Everybody knows Amy. Wonderful Amy, eh?
Your Majesty.
Sir. Colonel Roscoe Turner of California, sir, and his co-pilot, Mr. Pangborn.
Hi, King.
Say, Your Highness, I sure would like you to see the inside of our craft. Would you care to climb aboard?
Colonel Turner, most kind, but,
Oh, sure, I would enjoy to show you over the old bus. Huh?
Colonel, I hope you won't think me rude, but I'm not familiar with your uniform. Colonel in what exactly?
Well, sir, it's kind of an honorary title, you see. To be quite honest with you, I'm a colonel in the Nevada Air Force.
Nevada?
Uh-huh.
See, Nevada has an Air Force?
No, sir.
Oh, quite, yes. One is obliged to dress up at times in one's own profession also. One quite understands.
On this, the eve of the McRobertson International Air Race, I should like to read to the competitors a personal message from Sir Macpherson Robertson in Melbourne, Australia. The magnificent response by leading airmen of the world will make this the greatest race in the history of aviation. The attempt to reach Melbourne from London in something like 3 days will call forth in the highest degree the skill, resourcefulness, and endurance of pilots and the ingenuity and faithfulness of their aircraft. I express the feeling of all Australians in wishing you a safe and speedy flight to Melbourne, where a warm and hearty welcome awaits you. Thank you.
My gosh, the interest in this race is extraordinary. Chaps are like film stars.
Afraid so. Gets a bit wearing.
Oh, there's Jane and Algie. I'll just pop across and say hello.
Of course, darling, we'll be here.
You're not affected at all, are you, Campbell? Exactly the same chap as before all this madness.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's the planes which excite the interest. It could be anyone flying them.
I don't think so.
Love is the strongest thing, the oldest, yet the latest thing. I only hope that fate will bring love's story to you.
I hear this trophy is worth over 600 pounds.
Yes. I must say your Boeing is most impressive, Colonel.
Well, thank you, Mr. Scott. The Comet is very pretty. Very pretty. Parmentier. How you finding the Douglas, huh?
Very reliable.
Fast?
Oh, fast enough. Not fast enough for you, however.
Well, my guess is that whether it's you or me doing the flying, it's going to be an American plane first across the line.
Well, you're remarkably confident, Colonel.
Perhaps it would be best, Colonel Turner, if we see this race as a contest between men. And women, of course.
Amy?
Oh, Charles.
How are you feeling?
Oh, how I always feel before a big flight.
Oh, bit tense, eh?
Scared stiff.
Me too. I just wish we'd had more time with those comets.
We'd still feel the same if we had.
Yes. You got me into this, you know.
Me?
Yes. When I first met you in Australia in '30, you just made your astonishing flight. The Australians were quite mad about you. I don't know, I thought, well, that looks rather more fun than puddling around in Queensland, so off I went. 31. England, Australia, back again. You know, I can't do anything else now. Evening, Mollison.
Charlie. Oh, this is, Jennifer. Jennifer, say good evening to Mr. Charles Scott.
Good evening, Mr. Scott.
Sit down, Charlie. Have a drink. Oh, you don't, do you? Nor indeed your abstemious co-pilot. He dances very well, I must say.
Yes. Talking of co-pilots, Jimmy, what about yours?
Probably out of the planes. She prefers planes to people, I think.
Some people, perhaps.
Oh, sarcasm. How do we feel about tomorrow's race? Flying off to pseudo-glory in the morning, yet again?
Yeah, well, I'd appreciate it if you stay out of my way this time.
Charles, I shall be so far ahead of you that the question simply will not arise.
We shall see, won't we?
We shall.
I should go, Campbell. I'm sorry, but I really do need to get back.
I understand.
I have a rehearsal first thing. Songs for the new show.
You won't come back for the start of the race?
I'd rather not.
Tessie.
Yes?
Look, you must know I love you.
Known for ages. I love you too, actually. Wish I didn't.
Oh, Tessie, would you marry me?
I'm scared. I'm used to being alone. I have a career and... Oh, gosh, I must sound so terribly selfish. But... You see... This is a very bad time to be discussing this. Campbell... I'll tell you when you get back. All right?
All right. I have to get there before I can come back, of course.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that, you awful man.
The total distance is 11,300 miles. Passing over 19 countries and 7 seas. Now, to run through this again. Baghdad, Allahabad, Singapore, Darwin, Charleville are compulsory checkpoints for all competitors. Time spent on the ground at compulsory checkpoints is not included. Those in the speed section will, of course, be competing for first across the line in the shortest possible time. Those in the handicap section will, I imagine, be making more use of the optional checkpoints at Aleppo, Karachi, Batavia, and so on. I realize you know all this. You've thought of nothing else for weeks. Some of you for months. But may I simply say, despite the difficulties and differences we may have had, how much I admire you all. Good luck.
October 20th, 1934, when the Warner Brothers Comet, Boeing 247D. The planes of the greatest air race ever seen are somewhere over Europe. No, make that, are somewhere high above the historic tapestry that is Europe. How am I doing? Swell. Hey, look at that.
Keeps that up.
She can't, kid. She's got to put that thing down somewhere, remember?
We're losing power! And don't look at me like that. It was as sweet as enough before we left. We'll have to turn back. No! I couldn't stand it. It'd be too much like... Yeah, like last time. We can cross the channel at least! At least? Well, we can't go back! The crowd hasn't even left yet!
Perra and Hemsworth have had to put down in France. But here, poor devils. Young Melrose here. And Colonel Turner approaching Athens.
Any word on the comets, Commander Perrin?
Not as yet. But if things are proceeding as expected, they should be about here, heading for Baghdad.
All right?
Miles better, Johnny. Next stop, Baghdad.
Dankeschön.
Bitte schön, Fräulein.
We expect to arrive in Rome, our first scheduled stop, in approximately 40 minutes.
Excuse me, Captain, but what would you say is our position in the race?
Well, Fräulein, I would guess that we are more or less holding the same position that we left from Mildenhall.
More or less?
I apologize, Fräulein Rascher, that this is not so exciting for you, but we are an airline here on our regular route. For excitement, you should perhaps have flown with one of the other planes.
Campbell, are we really going to Australia?
I feel the same way.
How about the American girl, Miss Cochran?
No news as yet. But Miss Cochran chose to make Bucharest her first stop. And her aircraft, though unorthodox, is capable of remarkable speed.
On course, southern Romania, about 150 miles northwest of Bucharest.
Have to switch to auxiliary.
Okay. Switch it back to main tank.
The main tank's almost empty.
Across northern Mediterranean, en route to Rome. Strange to think not flying alone this time.
Messieurs, parlez-vous français?
Non, monsieur, pas exactly.
The police ask if the plane is smuggled into France. Also, there is some disagreeing, but for some reason we cannot know, your sparking plugs are covered in some yellow merde.
Yellow? Where the hell can that be coming from?
We clean them, but it is necessary that you fly to Paris. Ah, c'est dommage.
Paris.
Paris?
Lousy, rotten, stinking excuse for an airplane!
Jackie, hey, come on. We made it.
To Bucharest! I guess I just wasn't good enough.
Plane, Jackie. The plane wasn't good enough.
I chose her. I wouldn't listen to you or anybody else. Now this whole mess has cost me $20,000. Boy. Okay. Are there any runways longer than this between here and Australia?
Singapore, maybe.
Leaving aside every other damn thing, without flaps, she just lands too fast and too long. which means our next landing might be the last either of us ever makes.
Yeah, Jackie.
Wesley, one thing. You didn't let me down. Thanks.
Ah, Miss Cochrane. Welcome to Bucharest. What can we do to assist?
Better clean this junk up off your runway.
That is now officially confirmed. Miss Cochrane has withdrawn from the race. Miss Cochrane herself, apparently, has already left Bucharest at her customary speed.
Arrive Athens, 4:35 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Just over 10 hours.
That's not bad. It's not great, but not bad.
Hey, Roscoe, take a gander out here.
Baghdad? My goodness, King Ghazi of Iraq? We are popular.
Aren't you going to bathe and change?
No, I want to get on, Johnny. We're in the lead. I want to stay there. Now, since Karachi isn't a compulsory checkpoint, I vote we skip it and head straight for Allahabad.
Oh, I'd rather not risk it, Jim. London to New York, remember?
All right. Baghdad, Karachi it is.
Jim, eat something.
I did. Had a sandwich. Come on, Johnny. Come on. Charlie Scott will be dropping in any minute. Then where are we?
Just Mr. Mollison's Mr. Scott, not more than 15 minutes ago.
Oh, jolly good. Doing well, obviously.
Yes.
Anyone else?
No, not so far.
Well, what do you think, Campbell?
They'll stop at Karachi.
Exactly. While we go right over the top of it. Route's a bit longer than over Afghanistan, but safer. Can we do it?
It's going to be a bit grueling, old man. Yes. 4 hours each. Turn and turn about, why not?
Good man.
I said that night we met, I was with you all the way.
You did, and I believed you.
I figure we should put down in Baghdad about 2 a.m. local time, huh?
Right.
I can show you the cup of coffee.
Well, there's some made back there, and I guess you know where it is, Turner. Yeah, I'm gonna raise you 5. What's our altitude?
About 5,000 feet. Can't see too much any higher. Why?
Well, I'm just wondering if that's a cloud or a mountain dead ahead.
Well, that's a fair question now that you mention it.
Yep. Never saw a cloud with a tree on it before.
Okay, Miss Cochran. I'll see you.
regard.
Queens and twos.
Scott and Campbell Black have just left Baghdad. Any word on the Dutch? Not since they left Aleppo around 8:30.
Hey, it means we could just be in third place and gain it.
Sunrise soon, Johnny. Flying to meet the sun.
I wonder how Scott and Campbell Black are getting on.
Who cares?
Charles has always been very nice to me.
Charlie Scott is nice to anybody who might do him some good. The man's transparent. Besides, everybody's nice to you.
Glory, oh fame and glory, cash in on the ballyhoo. For Cap or Tory, it's never boring glory, and heaps of money in it too.
From Baghdad. What does it say? Oh, they're safe. And they're going on. Is that all? No, there's more.
Should be flying over Jask about dawn.
Any sign of the Mollisons?
Not a whisker, old man. Don't think there will be. You take over for a while?
Absolutely. You take a rest.
Oh, dear Haviland must hang around with midgets. Oh.
Thank you all. Great to be here.
Colonel Tanner, welcome to Baghdad, sir.
Well, I thank you, sir.
Can we run through the official stuff real quick and
Yes.
get gassed up, huh?
Yes, I think so, yes. Anxious to catch the Dutch, are we, Colonel?
Yeah, I guess I am, huh?
Yeah.
So they've already passed through, eh?
Yes, about 2.5 hours ago, actually. Cool chaps, those Dutch, I must say. Excuse me.
Yeah. Why, this Parmentier, what is he doing that we ain't doing?
Could he? They just have the better plane.
The most serious competition, to use your word, is the other American plane, the Boeing.
I see. May I sit down?
I would prefer not.
Of course.
Captain, on schedule for Karachi.
And the comets, Captain Mole?
Comets? Now, there I must agree with expert aviation opinion in the Netherlands. They are toy planes, built purely for this race.
Congratulations again to you both. First here and cutting the England to Karachi time in half.
Yes, it's marvelous mission.
We just keep pressing on, don't we?
Jolly good luck to you both.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Worried about the weather?
Scott and Campbell Black.
Nah, they're behind us, Johnny. Come on.
You don't think Scott might have skipped Karachi entirely?
Charlie Scott fly 30 hours straight. Can't see it. All Campbell Black's ever done is tootle about in Africa. Blast! Undercarriage won't retract.
What?
We'll have to go back.
All right. If we can just get this plate off. I suspect the cable has slipped off the drum. It can get out of alignment or jam if the cable stretches.
Right. Let's have a look.
Here, try this.
Mrs. Mollison seems to know all about it. My wife is a very clever woman.
Indeed she is, sir.
Don't try and make a monkey out of me in front of these men. I do know all about it as it happens. I studied this plane at Mildenhall while you were off doing whatever you do.
No offense meant, darling.
Try and get some rest. No use us both standing around here.
Mr. Mollison, sir. Mr. Mollison. She's mended, sir. Mrs. Mollison's warming her up now.
Warming her up? Didn't think she'd have time to cool. How long have I been here?
About 2 hours, sir.
What?
Yes, I'm sorry. It took longer than we expected.
Does it work?
Yes. We should be on a bearing of about 105 degrees.
Jim. What?
Left the maps behind, Johnny.
How much did you have to drink when we were fixing the undercarriage?
I don't know, the usual.
A couple of fools we look. The point is, Jim, it's nearly midday. Even if we fly full throttle to Allahabad, we're not going to get there before dark.
So what?
Allahabad is a strip of dust. And at night, you've had a few drinks.
So?
Well, I don't want to drop a wing.
We here first? Yes, congratulations.
Aircraft standing by.
Let poor Campbell have a few more minutes.
And what about you?
No, I'll be all right. Is that the weather report?
Yes.
No point in worrying Campbell with this, all right? Thank you, Randall.
Scott and Campbell Black have flown Baghdad to Allahabad direct.
Yes, and apparently they intend to fly straight on to Singapore.
All right, gentlemen. Further news to hand. KLM should arrive Karachi any time now. Turner and Pangbourne and Miss Cochrane still a couple of hours behind the Dutch. Hera and Hemsworth.
You're in the lead, de Havilland. I knew you could do it.
So far. Mollison's had undercarriage problems. Just couldn't get the bugs out of that in time, I'm afraid. How's the weather over the Bay of Bengal?
Well, as far as we know, it's very dirty. Scott and Black are in for a rough trot.
Oh. Oh, dear.
139 degrees! Wait! I don't like flying over water, but it saved us 200 miles. Just hope the bloody wings stay on.
Welcome to Baghdad.
Thank you, sir. I don't suppose I'm the first one here.
Not exactly, Mr. Melrose, but in that small plane, a splendid effort.
Thanks. Yes, it's been all right.
Will you be going straight on, Mr. Melrose?
No, I'm only after the handicap. I think I'll get a sleep first. A good night's sleep every night and you can't go wrong, I reckon.
Amy, Amy, wake up, wake up.
What?
The Dutch have landed.
Dutch? You ready?
Yes. Come on, let's go.
Have you heard anything about Scott and Campbell Black?
Yes, they're on the way to Singapore. They've left Allahabad.
Damn Scott. Damn you too, Amy.
We agreed they must be behind us.
All right, we'll catch them up. Damn, come on. Come on, come on. Excuse me.
Fräulein Rush, won't you join us? The curry here is excellent.
The second British comet has only just taken off.
This has not escaped our notice, Fräulein. However, our schedule at this point allows us an extra hour for a proper and quite delicious meal. Please.
Fräulein Russia, as you point out, a British comet has just left here. And we know why this plane was delayed. Another isn't a lead, but from what we have seen so far, for how long?
If we continue to maintain our scheduled departure times, we will arrive in Melbourne in 2 days, 3 hours, and 19 minutes. With allowances for headwinds and weather, of course.
So you could even win the race. By default.
If you wish to put it like that.
Engine sounds all right now. Funny thing is, I don't know why. We never did find out what that muck was on the plugs.
Never mind. As long as she keeps going. At least someone's as slow as us. Why are we gonna chase them? We are chasing them.
Oh, Melrose? Flying on to Jask, sir.
Sir.
Gentlemen, Baines and Gilman, the New Zealanders, the aircraft was crashed and burned at Fudgett. Neither man survived. God grant that is our only casualty.
Jim, look at your tacho. The engines can only take so much. And we're chewing up fuel. Jim! Will you listen?
I listen to you at bloody Karachi.
1
What's your heading?
Due east.
Well, mine's 115. We're flying east-southeast. We've just crossed a river and... Well, by my compass...
Listen! We're flying by my compass, so for God's sake, shut up!
Hi! Tell them to send the Sarahs a long dashes. Maybe we can get a fix on them, huh? Okay. Hey! Any ideas, Miss Cochran?
No! Navigation's not exactly my strength.
Yeah, well, I'm discovering it's not mine either. Allahabad say they don't want to interrupt regular radio traffic. And anyway, there's a flashing beacon, which the Dutch say can be seen for 70 miles.
The Dutch? They're already there?
Already gone. 3 hours ago. Well, you tell them, Clyde, that we're flying through lightning, and how the hell can we see any damn beacon? You tell them we don't want to spend the damn night amongst the damn lions, huh? Well, they say we should fly due north till we see the Ganges River. Follow that till it's light, then turn southeast.
Over Persia, en route just. Low in spirits. Heard about death of New Zealand blokes. Too easy to forget the dangers of this flying racket.
That's it, over to the plane.
Jim?
Not now. Come on, you come with me. Right, come over here. That's it, you hand it up.
Well, at least tell me where we are.
175 miles southwest of Allahabad, near a place called Jabalpur. Come along, ladies and gentlemen, quick as you can. Well, you were right. Again. Happy?
What's that you're filling up with?
It's from the local bus depot.
Bus depot?
Look, we're bloody lucky to find anything around here. Give me some credit.
Have you any idea what kind of muck they run the buses on out here?
We've got no choice.
No!
Well, what would you suggest? It's only an hour's hop.
Jim! Check your instruments! We can't fly this fast, this low!
Not getting lost again. Be there in a minute.
Italy, eh? I've never been to Italy.
Ah, beautiful. Friendliest people in the world. Penetrato senza permesso ufficiale su un campo d'aviazione militare. Siete in arresto. Se resistete sarete fucilati.
Jeff, how's your Italian?
About on a par with your French, mate.
Silenzio!
Understood that.
You said these fascist blokes wouldn't make any difference.
Tell you, mate, last
Ray, I am not in the mood.
Fair enough.
She started cutting out about an hour from here.
Instruments all right?
She was running very hot, I'm afraid. We were flying very low and fast.
I see.
And we refueled at some little place. Not aviation fuel. I'd go straight into the piston heads, are you? Oh, I'm sorry, George. I haven't even said a word.
Oh, that's all right, Amy. It's a damn shame about this.
Yes. How do things stand? The race?
Well, Scott and Campbell Black in the lead now, as you probably know. Heading for Singapore.
Yes. And KLM?
Got here yesterday afternoon. The American chap Turner here this morning. Bit of a drama with them. They got lost. Made it in around dawn.
Looks pretty bad, sir.
Excuse me, Amy. Quick as you can, man. Let's see if we can get it back in the air.
I think we've come through, Campbell.
Come through to where?
Let's take it down to 1,000 feet and take a look. Just hope to God we haven't overshot the peninsula.
Yes?
Yes, we're all right. Singapore, about 600 miles. I'd say 3.5 hours.
Scotty, I'll take over. You take a rest.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I want you to be awake for the landing, that's all. Sheer self-interest.
Thanks, old man.
Miss Desmond, it was just on the wireless. They're in Singapore.
Singapore? Then they're all right.
And winning, Miss Desmond. Come on, you lot. How'd you go? Miss Desmond's got to get dressed.
Yes. Quick six, Queenie. Where have you been, anyway?
Down the stage door, listening to the wireless, of course. Aren't you just a little bit excited?
Oh, Queenie, my heart's pounding like mad. I've no idea how I shall sing or anything. My gosh. Now they're crossing the Timor Sea. They're all worried about that.
Oh, they've got this far. They'll be all right.
6-cylinder heads and pistons burnt out. Boy must have pushed her. Bloody vandal, sir. No respect for the machine.
Well, all the instruments are working perfectly.
Well?
I'm afraid we don't have the facilities here for this, Mr. Mollison. She'll need spare parts sent out from home.
How long?
A week. Perhaps 10 days.
I see. Thanks. Well, that's it then, Johnny. Too bad. That's it. You have a good cry. For all the good that'll do. I think I could use a drink.
I've had it, Jim. Had the drinking. Had the other women. Oh, yes, I know about them. Had the jealousy. Had it all, Jimbo.
Good old honest Amy. You're right, of course. Look, Johnny. You sure you want to finish it? The Flying Mollisons, remember?
Oh, stuff the Flying Mollisons. You great baby.
Scott! For God's sake, we've lost the port engine. Scott, are you all right?
Yes. I've got my revolver.
Revolver?
Look down there, old man.
the Timor Sea. If we go down in that, the sharks will tear us to pieces in a moment. So, my abiding comfort.
You'd shoot yourself?
Hardly suicide in the circumstances.
Yes. Yes, I see. But don't worry, Scott. We can't make it on one engine.
Hope so, old man. Hope so.
Come on.
This has been the smoothest journey of my experience. There's been nothing unusual, no incidents. We have flown normally at around 12,000 feet.
Captain, do you have any comments on the Mollisons dropping out and Mr. Scott and Mr. Campbell Black being ahead?
Oh, not so very far ahead from what we hear. Naturally, we are very sorry to hear about Mr. and Mrs. Mollison. As for Mr. Scott and Mr. Campbell Black, I say only this. Up to now, we have been nursing our engines, but from here on, we go full out.
Black.
What?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I drifted off.
Me too. Oh, not far now. Can't be.
I was dreaming. Could have killed both of us.
Oh, pull yourself together, man. Been flying for over 50 hours. What do you expect?
Scott.
What?
How do you feel about landing on one engine?
Bit bloody dicey. Why?
Look ahead. Here you go.
Darwin!
Very quiet. Nobody here.
Thank God for that.
Well,
It's 3 in the morning, I suppose.
days, 4 hours, and 38 minutes. An astounding 4.5 days of the old England-Australia record, gentlemen. It's incredible. It's as though the world had shrunk a couple of days to half its size.
Reaching Darwin is one thing, Perrin. Reaching Melbourne is quite another.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, good fellow.
I'm surprised to see this Boeing of yours. After all, our stars are stop only for KLM and the handicap flyers.
I had to gas up, sir. If I could have flown direct to Singapore, I would. But we had the storm over the Bay of Bengal, which I reckoned it prudent to fly around. Yeah, Mawson's are at the
I guess your plane has passed through, Mr. Van der Houten?
The Douglas? Oh, yes.
Of course. How silly of me.
Sure sorry we don't have more time for you to look over the plane, sir, but you see, I've got this comet on my tail.
You're talking about Mr. and Mrs. Mollison?
Uh-huh.
Well, they're out of the race already. They were grounded at Allahabad.
Engine trouble?
Inevitable. We hear about burnt-out cylinders, oil pressure problems. Huh? A comet. Personally, I'm surprised they came so far. Now, this is a plane for adults, like our Douglas, yes?
Yes, sir, Mr. Van der Houten. Yes, sir.
It's the Poms' fault.
It's the Italians who locked us up.
Yeah, but if the Poms had built a decent plane in the first place...
Mate, if we'd bought a decent plane in the first place...
Now, fair go, Jeff. It's the best we could afford. If only we'd had that Lockheed.
Yeah. Where'd we be? Baghdad, you reckon?
No question.
this a race in which you claim to compete, huh?
Hey, no claim, mate. Now, come on, you've seen our papers. And there's a race number on our plane out there.
Ah, see, the plane. In this race, 2 men have already reached Darwin, Australia.
What's their names, these blokes?
Gentlemen, gentlemen. Our mechanics have repaired this plane as far as such a thing is possible.
Real decent of it.
But I think your chances of catching the others is...
We just want to get home, sport.
Bye, bye.
Oil pressure dropping on number 1. Faulty gauge. Engine temp rising. Nope, not the gauge, Roscoe. We're going to shut it down before it cooks. Well, Kopang. 45 minutes. On 1 engine, maybe more.
All this way, and now this. Between you and me, Campbell, I think we're finished. Nearly 2 hours here so far. The Dutch are only a few hours away.
Well, you want to start her up?
She's all right?
Well, she's not 100%. Compression's low on 2 cylinders, but she'll get you to Charleville.
Crank up number 1 for a couple of minutes if we need height, and shut her down if she gets hot, like we did to get off Kopang.
How long to Darwin?
3 hours.
Timor Sea. Well, I hear that's one of the most shark-infested pieces of water on this earth.
Why, somebody count them or what?
Hmm?
I mean, why should it be any more shark-infested than any other stretch of sea?
Miss Cochran's being scientific, Clyde. But I guess, as a New Yorker, a few sharks are gonna be like old friends.
Oh, Hardy, ha ha.
Where are the Dutch?
Darwin, Mr. Scott.
Yes, they would be.
But they've got Cloncurry before they come down here. Up to the tent.
Well, Parmentier, we are now in Australia. With my experience of the route from here, things should be as smooth as they have been so far.
Of course. I hadn't forgotten.
It's true, Parmentier. Scott and Campbell Black had engine troubles here, and they are still in Charleville.
Tom Campbell Black's the best co-pilot a chap could have, actually. In fact, he's done most of the work this trip. Haven't you, Campbell?
Oh, I don't think so.
And what are your plans for after the race, Mr. Campbell Black?
Back to Africa, I expect.
Oh? We'd heard that there was a romantic angle.
That's a strictly private matter. I have nothing to say about that.
Mr. Scott, the Dutch have left Darwin.
Thank you.
That Dutch fox. Of course.
start, KLM have told anyone who would listen all they wanted to prove was how reliable their air service was. It's total rubbish, Campbell. They've done that. If you were Parmentier and you knew that we were having engine troubles and you were this close...
All right, I expect you're right, Scott.
Don't you care? What's wrong with you, Campbell?
I'm extremely bloody tired, old man. So are you. We both need to sleep.
Then sleep in Melbourne, Campbell. In Melbourne when we have won.
Take your hand off my shoulder, would you?
Listen to me, Sunshine. If we lose this, what have we got? What do we go back to? Not bloody much, mate. And what about that strictly private matter,
Just
eh?
let go of my... Do you think Desi could care less whether we win or not? If she loves me at all, it's not for winning damn air races. I think she's more grown up than that.
She's ready. Just keep an eye on the oil pressure.
Thank you.
Shall we go?
Baby, don't cut out on us now.
Losing altitude, down to 400 feet.
Gonna make it?
I don't know. Hey, you ever wonder what Australian beer tastes like? Huh? 'Cause there she is, Australia, kids.
No, Shark, we're gonna miss out on lunch now.
Betcha, baby.
Hold steady, 350 feet.
Ah!
Oh, boys, I thank you.
5, maybe 6 more hours if the weather holds.
Just check your oil pressure, would you?
There's still some pressure there. We're all right.
No, Scott. We're gonna have to go back.
Taking over.
Well, can you fix it?
Yes, of course. Simple. But not in 2 seconds. You need spare parts, and I need time.
We got neither. What about the number 2 engine?
Faulty air cooler shutter.
Uh-huh.
Take me 5 minutes to fix that.
Great.
Look, Turner, without stripping her down, I can tell you this much. She could take you to Melbourne and back. But then again, she could go bang when you're 50 feet off the ground.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, Melbourne doesn't seem that far away. What do you say, kid?
Oh, yeah? Look at the size of this. That's about the size of California, Nevada, Colorado, all in one piece, and that only gets us to Charlieville.
Why, Miss Cochran, you about to bail out now?
Hell no. Just somebody's got to be a realist around here.
Okay, that's you, Clyde.
Well, we made it this far on one.
At least we're over land. There's plenty of rivers and stuff to navigate by. Oh, what the hell? Let's give it the old college try. Hey, Tuckfield, screw it on and wind it up. We're going to Melbourne!
Mr. Scott?
They finished?
No. Look, why don't you lie down somewhere and I'll call you as soon as the aircraft's ready.
If I lie down now, I may never get up again.
Weather reports in.
Yes?
It's turning nasty about 600 miles further south.
Yes, well, what do you think?
Think? Oh. I think we better leave pronto if we stand any chance of missing it.
Pronto? Caroline, sorry, really.
It's all right, Scotty. I understand, old man.
And gentlemen, I think you all know McPherson Robertson. Mac Robertson, sponsor of the race and its prizes.
Any comment, Mr. Robertson?
I'm very proud of all our competitors, gentlemen, but at the present moment becoming anxious for the leaders in the light of the weather forecast.
Yes, there's a pretty bad storm front coming through from the west. It's expected to cross the Victoria-New South Wales border sometime this afternoon.
Then it's possible that no one will get here today. The weather will close them out.
It might. We only control the race from this end, not the weather. But you see, I've always said from the start that the Australian section would be the most rugged. We've got pilots and machines that have flown hard, halfway around the world. They're tired.
And Australia herself, too, gentlemen. For those unfamiliar with the terrain, a vast trackless waste with unpredictable and ferocious weather.
You see any water, Miss Cochran?
Nary a drop.
We got to fly due east to the Gulf. The Australian Air Force will direct us down to Charleville from there. They say the reason we can't see any rivers is because they only flow 1 month out of the year.
And this isn't the month?
We leave in 20 minutes.
20? What about this weather report?
It looks bad. Parmentier, if you're still thinking of this race, this is a compulsory checkpoint, and the time on the ground here is not counted.
We leave in 20 minutes. That is an order, Captain Moore. Need I remind you that on this voyage I'm in command?
Of course not.
Good.
Campbell! What? It's your turn. Is that an hour? 20 minutes. It's your aeroplane. Right.
Scott, wake up! Storm! We're flying straight into it! We're not gonna make it! Yes, we are! We have to! Can't see where we are! That's a bit higher, Vol! Parmentier, we're icing up! You can't go any higher! You must not! The mountains! My God! The mountains! But tell me, you're the company's pioneer for this route? So? Well, so we're trapped, Parmentier! Trapped between the snowy mountains and the storm! Anything? Nothing.
SOS!
Get other aircraft and station up in the air. Get back to your seat, Fraulein. This is very serious. Believe me.
Australians are trying to get through to us, but it's impossible.
You realize we're completely lost? Quite apart from the danger. Are you happy, Parmentier? You risk our lives of our passengers. My life, your own. Both of us with wives and children at home. You risk a plane, Parmentier. What, to be an adventurer like the British and the Americans? A hero!
We're getting something from Beechworth, but if that's right, they're still too far east. Well, get me the Mayor of Albury, quick as you can.
Yes, that's right. The Air Force briefed me this morning, Commander. We'll be standing by. Right away. Right, now you got that? Now, this is the Morse code for the name of the town. Short and long for A, short, long, short, short for L, 3 shorts for B, and so on. You got that? Right. How long do you want me to keep it up? Until I tell you to stop. All night if we have to.
Nothing. Yes, Daddy.
I'm flying blind, young. We cannot keep flying in circles. We have only 20 minutes of fuel left. I will go lower.
Wait. What if there are more mountains?
I know only the corridor through to Melbourne. There's no choice. Look! There!
It's Morse. It's Morse code. A. L. B. That's all, Billy.
Yes, but where can we land?
Back her up, back her up. Yeah, back up right against the fence there. That's the way. That way. How are you, Jim? Good on you, mate. That's the top.
Yeah, a race course. I don't know.
Undercarriage down. Landing lights on. Flaps down. Looks very short. Here we go.
Luckily for all of us, Kuna, you're an excellent pilot, as well as a fool.
What'd you say the name of this place was? Bork? Burke?
Burke, Miss Cochran. You know, Clyde says the Australians have a saying back of Burke, which means nowhere. I guess that's where we are, back of Burke.
Hey, come on, Turner. You're still looking at 3rd place at least. Be as noble in defeat as I'm sure you would have been in victory.
Well, I would have preferred the latter.
Well, sure, me too. Damn, I hate to lose.
I hate missing out on the prize money.
It's a hell of a way to make a living, huh?
Right.
Melbourne!
The red! It's Scotland Black!
We won! Scott and Campbell Black are in Melbourne. They've won!
It's Australia. Florence Desmond.
Desi? It's me. How are you?
I'm fine. Relieved. How are you?
Bit tired. Glad it's over.
Oh, congratulations.
Desi. Would you marry me, do you think?
Yes. All right, Campbell.
Oh, Desi. I do love you so.
What is this place?
Naples. Napoli.
We should have just kept on flying.
We couldn't. There's water in the petrol filter and the tank's full of that yellow muck again. I don't know, Jeff. Beats me.
Hello, hello. You fly 2 times over our military airfield, huh? Why?
So we wouldn't land on it. We know about military airfields.
Oh, yeah.
But we wanted to make sure that that was the wrong airfield so that we could be sure that this was the right airfield.
I think you've lost him, mate.
I don't think so.
Arrestado. You're under arrest for spy on military airbase.
This is getting serious, Ray.
Ladies and gentlemen! Ladies and gentlemen, in first place, Mr. Scott and Mr. Campbell Black. Second, Captains Parmentier and Moll of KLM. And third, Colonel Roscoe Turner and Mr. Pangborn of the United States of America. Mr. Scott, it was a pleasure to take your exhaust fumes, sir.
Thank you, Colonel. Thank you.
Mr. Black.
Just sticking to your schedule, Captain Parmentier.
For most of the way, Mr. Scott.
And the first Australian home, James Melrose. You're a hero, kid. Give him away. if you intend of making a habit of breaking records, take my advice. Get yourself a new tailor.
Charles Scott and Tom Campbell Black did become famous for their exploits, but the £10,000 prize and the trophy were claimed by their sponsor. Charles Scott survived the Second World War, but increasing obscurity, 2 failed marriages, and heavy drinking took their toll. In 1946, while stationed in Germany, Scott shot himself. 2 years after his epic flight and his marriage to Florence Desmond, Campbell Black was killed when his aircraft was sliced in half in an accident on the tarmac near Liverpool in England. Roscoe Turner dominated American air racing through to the end of the 30s. He then went into business, and his company trained more than 6,000 pilots for the U.S. Armed Forces during World War II, for which he was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross. The great Dutch aviator, Koner Parmentier, was killed when his airliner crashed into a hillside in thick fog near Glasgow, Scotland in 1948. Soon after returning to England, Amy Johnson and Jim Mollison separated permanently. In 1941, Amy Johnson drowned when the aircraft she was ferrying for the Royal Air Force crashed into the Thames estuary. Jim Mollison fought a long and losing battle against chronic alcoholism. He died crippled with arthritis in 1959. Jimmy Melrose was killed only 2 years later in 1936, when the aircraft he was piloting was torn apart in a storm above Melton in Victoria. At his funeral, Adelaide Cathedral was crowded, mostly with young women. Jackie Cochran went on to become the greatest woman flyer in the history of aviation. In 1953, she became the first woman to break the sound barrier, and in 1954 was voted Businesswoman of the Year. She lived till 1980. On August the 17th, 1989, a Qantas Boeing 747-400, long reach, flew non-stop from England to Australia in 20 hours and 9 minutes, about a quarter of the time taken by Scott and Campbell Black in the de Havilland Comet 50 years earlier. Nearly 4 months after leaving England, the last of the competitors arrived in Melbourne.
Hey, Ray.
Yeah?
Do you reckon we get some sort of prize for finishing?
Handshake. Place in the record books. At least you can say you did it.
Yeah, you can say that again.